assault and batteries, but my trunk stay ever ready. Yep. Assault and battery, if you scared, you never ready. Yep.
Alright, with SummerSlam now in the books, I think everyone is looking forward to seeing what is going to be next for Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Monday Night Raw, you saw that LA Knight and Roman Reigns had a pretty good promo, actually, a great back and forth, much like their feud they had during the Bloodline era. I think they really know how to really talk their way to getting people to care about their match. LA Knight's always kind of been on the brink of being that superstar, that next guy to really win the title, but never really be able to reach that, that number one spot. Him being a Royal Rumble winner, I can definitely see happening in the near future, but him beating Roman Reigns, I don't see happening anytime soon. But when it comes to Seth Rollins, I think there is something there that he needs to do, like stay in the title picture, maybe have some sort of, I don't know, just kind of work his way back. I can see him maybe taking a little bit of time off, it's because he is, I don't know. I think he is really on the tail end of his career. So having him on TV regularly, being injury prone like he is, maybe having him on, every Raw and every SmackDown, every pay-per-view isn't the best thing to do. Really keeping him as a showcase person. I think a lot of these guys, as they get closer to the end of their career, the best thing to do, much like a Kurt Angle and a Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Triple H, John Cena even, is save them for the big shows. They are guys who, people can care about. And honestly, I think now with the returns happening in WWE, with your Kevin Owens, with Randy Orton, who again, another showcase guy, I think it is okay for Seth Rollins to maybe be off TV for a month or maybe do something a couple weeks before the Money in the Bank pay-per-view and maybe be in that and kind of reclaim, what is rightfully his, the World Heavyweight title. So with that main event being so good, I do think that, one of these guys, they do have to stay apart for a long time. And I think that match was a conclusion to over 10 years of back and forth with the Shield. And although Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley was not part of that whole thing, they did pay tribute to him in more ways than one, which I thought was really classy of both Roman, Seth, and even the WWE in general. And going forward, it's weird though, because these guys are just so set in the main event. Roman's a champ. He's going to be, maybe every other Raw, maybe every Raw doing promos, but he's not going to have a match except, there's a Mexico show coming up, and I feel like that's going to be something everyone needs to watch. And these Mexico shows, these AAA shows WWE's putting on, they're incredible. I watched my first one a couple weeks ago. No, actually, this past Saturday. And I saw Mini Vikingo, and I'm like, damn, it was the first time I saw him. And I, did some, a YouTube search, and just crazy. Just so much talent, and it's just such a different vibe. And I think people really underestimate how good that AAA crowd is. And especially after that El Grande Americano match, I think it is definitely an alternative that I can get behind instead of, maybe watching SmackDown, watch that instead. Fresh faces, fast-paced action, and the stories are building. And they're taking guys who I think us fans want to be pushed, and they're putting them in a main event spot. Plus, you see new faces, different sort of culture in wrestling, historic company in that. So, and plus, The Undertaker is running it. To see him doing so well, just kind of running his own company. Ironically, it's a Mexican company, but that's besides the point. But it's cool to see, and I think WWE is kind of on a different path now, where maybe they're giving different guys a chance. Maybe it's time for these guys who were kind of on this upper mid card level, to really showcase themselves and really prove that they're able to break out of that shell and break that glass ceiling and maybe be a proper contender. And I think guys like Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Randy Orton are perfect guys to really make that happen. Maybe put guys over and put them into that main event role. So we'll see what happens, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what is next for Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, because their main event, it was something else. I was sitting here watching it on this TV, and just the drama. And I think, again, that's what WWE does so well, where they can take a match that maybe you've seen 100 times, but just with the right story, with the right competitors, and with the right build-up. I think people can really get behind everything that goes on, and it makes me hopeful that, things can get better. But then again, then you see how the WWE really is, and it's maybe you just get your hopes up. But we'll see what happens next. But overall, just great main event. Still thinking about it today. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next video.